Hi, I'm Simon from Sailing Britaincan, and we help people become more confident cruisers. On the last video I showed you how to avoid collisions. On this one I'm going to show you how we choose where to anchor. At the end of this video I offer some useful tips, so keep watching. So if you want to become a more confident cruiser, why don't you subscribe to our channel, and if you want more in-depth information, visit sailingbritaincan.com. The link to the website is down below. So let's get on with the video on how to choose a place to anchor. Okay, let me start off with a story. We'd been on the boat about 3 months. It was my birthday. We were in a beautiful little anchorage in Greece, and I wanted to show her off really, basically, and bring the boat further into the anchorage, anchor off right by the bar and the restaurant we were going to be eating at. And I just wanted to have a look at her, get her all lit up, and just have a nice show her off really. I'm just leaving the boat, taking the trash in, and as I'm about 50 feet away, a massive microburst came through, and it was blowing about 50 knots. Kim and her cousin Lauren were shouting, "Simon, Simon!" So I turned the dinghy around and I went round and held the boat, because the boat was getting blown off. There was boats moving all around us. There was just mayhem. Luckily Kim got the engine started, and we grabbed hold of the line. I got back on the boat, we picked up the anchor, and we motored out, where other boats were just moving all around us. Luckily we didn't get hit, but there was quite a few boats that did. What did I learn from that? Well, not to be vain. That was one thing. We've met this couple, and they've been sailing, Jim and Carol, they've been sailing for 15 years, and I went, "Oh my god, I did something really silly." They goes, "Yes, you did. You went into the anchorage, you went far in, you're a big boat." So what we do is that we anchor as far out as we feel comfortable with. And you being a big boat, that's where you should anchor. And ever since then, that's what we've done, because it's one of the most dangerous places. If a microburst goes through, something like that, boats are crashing around to each other, and if that happens to us and it's mayhem, we can pick up the anchor and get out really easy because we're at the back. There's also boats can break free, and they can come down on you quickly, and hopefully it's easier to get out when there's less boats around you, or if you're not right in tight with the into the anchorage. That's what we've done, and touch wood, so far we've been good. Okay, so we're coming into a bay here in St Martin called Marigot. We've been in here lots and lots of times, so I know how it lies. If I was coming in here for the first time, I'll be reading about it in the books to find out which is the best way to come into it, if there's any dangers, also which is the best size to anchor to keep away from the wind and the swell. Before we go into any anchorage, especially when we're coming into the first time, we look at the cruising guide. So this is the anchorage that on the video. It's Marigot. It's a beautiful big bay here in St Martin, and it just tells you that it's quite open. There's a couple of metal unlit mooring balls there that if you hit, you're going to do major damage because they're for ships. And there's also this little bit of shallow patch that comes out as you're going into the canal here. But the best place to anchor is nice up and tight in here, but like I was saying, we don't go in there because it's too tight for us, so we're always anchoring out here. It's a little bit more rolly for us, but we feel safer out there. I'm just coming in, and what I'm looking for now is to see where we're going to go and anchor. At the moment we're still probably about 1.5 miles away, so I'm looking to see if there's any boats anchored far out. And there's a ship, there's 2 ships and an absolutely huge sailboat which are some way out. At the moment it's still too early to find out exactly where we're going to anchor, but we're hoping to go on the left side, but normally that's quite busy, so we'll see if there's a space for us. So this is how far I start out the engine, because I want to know that the engine is nice and warm. If anything's going to happen to the temperature, it's going to generally happen early on. If there's a problem, I'm so far that I've got a lot of time to deal with it, and we've still got the sails out. So we're just coming in now, and Kim is furling in the headsail. So the sail's going away now. Thanks, Kim. Okay, so we're coming into the anchorage now, and you want to go in nice and slow so you can have a chance to have a look around, see how it looks, how it lies. We know roughly where we want to anchor, but I'm still coming in nice and slow because I want to see if there's space for us. If there's not space where I want to go, I then start looking around. I'm always talking to Kim. Are you happy here? Where do you want to go? I want you to go here, but it's full. And Kim will go, oh, why don't we try over there? Or what about here? I'm looking on my iPad. Kim will be looking on the chart plotter, and we're also looking visually at where we want to go. Okay, so as you notice, I'm using my iPad and Kim is using the plotter. They're both on Navionics, but they're actually quite different because the iPad gets updated. If Kim goes, there's a reef here, and I look on mine, I go, no, it's not. We always err on the cautious side. You know, it's probably a sandbank or whatever is there, but it's now disappeared because of some storms that's gone through. But if it's on Kim's plotter and it's not on mine, or vice versa, we just avoid it. Make sure you go out there. It's better to be safe than sorry. We're going to be anchoring in about 10 minutes, but we've taken our time, and if you can't find a place, just go back out, have a look around. There's no rush, and if it gets too blowy or if a squall comes through, get back out, wait your time. Look at the beam on that boat. Wow. Oh look, it's got a lift on the front. Oh. There it is. It says that it's going to be pretty shallow soon. Do you want to go on the other side of this Outremer? So Kim and I are just discussing now where to go. We're still at 1.8 meters below us, which is 6 feet. So that's good. It's just dropping a little. So I'm going to go nice and slow, because ideally I'd like to be around about here. So it's dropping. It's at 1.4, but I'm happy with that. So I'm slowing down. We're at 1 meter. It's dropping to 1.8. We're at 0.9 of a meter below us. There's a shallow patch just over there where that catamaran is. Kim's going to go and check the chart.
A little bit shallow back over here, 2.1.
Where's that?
Right here. It's off our beam.
Yeah.
That's 2.1. How does your charts read?
Well, it says we're going into a bit of a shallow patch. So on my charts, it says it's going to get a little bit deeper out over here, because we've never anchored at this part of the bay before, so it's all new to us. We're trying to get closer to the dinghy dock so we don't get as wet and we can keep our food dry, our shopping dry. Yeah, so these people are just going away I think they're going on a day trip. So we're going to probably go and anchor roughly where he was. Okay, it's a good tip to keep an eye out if anyone's leaving, because sometimes that's a good place to anchor. Yeah. I've got to remember there's a big monitor hole behind us. What we'll do now is I'll say, Kim, do you want to get ready the anchors to drop the anchor, please? Yeah. We're just waiting for this guy to pick up his anchor, and we're going to go. We're going to drop in here. So Kim and I have decided where we're going to go. We're going to drop it just to the left of the American Hansi there, and Kim is going up there to prepare the anchor, take the pin off. Lots of boat. There's another person there picking up the anchor, and it is blowing 20 knots. When I'm coming into an anchorage, I'm always looking at how the boats are lying, where the wind is coming from, and I'm checking to see if there's a tide. Here in Caribbean there's very little tide, so it's always wind, but back in the UK the tide was generally stronger than the wind. I'm always checking for that, because I always want to either go into the wind or go into the tide, because that's how you should be anchoring. Kim looks like she's ready for dropping the anchor there. That's the boat we're going to go next to, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to its port side and drop it right level with its stern, because then when we go back it will be far enough away from it, and we won't, if he moves and we go slightly to the side, he won't go over our anchor. So I'm looking behind me, there's a catamaran behind there. Okay, Kim? Yeah? 5. I've told Kim that it's 5. And now she's dropping the anchor. Now see that I'm dropping the anchor right on his stern and quite away, you know, about 2 boat lengths away from him. So when we're looking for a place to anchor and we've found somewhere, we're happy, we go up, and if there's 2 boats there, we like to drop in the middle or right behind. So if they're all swinging around, hopefully those boats won't be above our anchor if we need to move early in the morning. There's nothing on this side. Happy with the depth and happy with any boats behind us. I'm going slightly in reverse, and that's how far the boat is away. I'm really happy with that. And the nearest boat to us again is that one there, which is not a problem, and we're nice out here. So we're just setting the anchor now, giving it a bit more revs. Sienna's just woke up. Hey, Sienna's up. It's only 10 o'clock. Okay, so let me give you some tips. When you're first starting off, I suggest that you stay back, keep away from other boats, so you start to develop your anchoring skills. And once you feel a little more confident and you know how the boat lies and how your anchor works, you can then maybe, if you want to, start to move further into shore where it might be a bit more sheltered. Another tip, get a big dinghy with the biggest engine you can get, because it doesn't matter how far out you're anchored, you can get in nice and quick. Make sure you've got enough chain so you can be out at the back and stay out of trouble and you don't have to go inside. Another tip is when you're coming in, if you see someone on the boat next to you, ask him where his anchor is, because the wind might have changed when he put his anchor out. The wind might have changed. It might be in about a 90-degree angle now. So you can then say, right, if I put my anchor there, I'm going to be too close to him, and when we all swing right back, it's going to be in an issue. And if he says, oh, it's straight out in front, you go, oh, thanks very much. You okay for me to drop it here? Thank you. Once the anchor's out and you're all settled, if you feel as though you're a little close, or because some people have distances where they think this is close and other people think this is close, maybe you should ask the person next to you if he's happy with where you're anchored, because you don't want to upset your neighbours. And my final tip is, if you're a catamaran owner or a monohull owner, it's better if you try and anchor next to the same type of boat as you, if you're a cat or a mono, because they swing slightly different. That's not always the case because there's only a certain amount of space available, but that's what we try and do. If there's monos over there, we try and stay closer to them rather than catamarans. Especially when there is no wind, because we had a friend's boat that was anchored close to us, there was a catamaran, and eventually we came right close together and hit the front of his boat was at the back of our boat, and we were bumping in, but luckily we were friends. So it's something you have to think about. So that's it for this video. Please give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. Thank you. Bye.